The government knows. Alright, folks, so we're just going to jump right into it. I'll talk a little bit through what we're doing this evening while we're drawing, but I think it's best if we just jump into it. Here, let me just go back through what I did to warm up real quick. You might have noticed I've really loosened up. I'm trying to take like a much... I'm using some of the stuff we've been practicing over the last few weeks here, but I'm trying to like loosen up. I kind of feel like more flow and energy in what I'm doing. So I don't get so uptight with what I'm drawing. And I get more expressive and put more character into what I'm doing. So anyway, we're going to get started right... Oh my god, look at that pose. So we're going to get started right now. Okay, Google, set timer for 25 minutes. Okay, Google, set timer for 25 minutes, you fucking idiot.
25 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. And let me put on some bangers that slap in the background here. There we go. All right, folks. Just jump right in. This will be a warm.
What is that pose?
This is a warm up round. JoJo. We're doing 2-minute poses. I'm gonna reset this drawing just because I like it. It's hip. It's divine. It's with it. It's JoJo. Part of the JoJo is it's JoJo. JoJo. It's the art movement of JoJo. The art and fashion movement. Oh my god, is that a JoJo reference? Everyone's like annoyed by that, but speaking as someone who like for years tried to evangelize about how JoJo's Bizarre Adventure before it got adapted to animation here, and everyone and their grandma now knows about it, I'm happy to see JoJo references everywhere. And I'm happy that, like, given the nature of the anime has basically, like, given a new generation of people a childhood experience of being with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, even though they didn't grow up in Japan in the 80s or 90s, when it was at its peak of popularity over there. Like, there's been, like, a delayed adolescence for the rest of the world discovering JoJo thanks to the animated series. Even Speedwagon couldn't have predicted this. Never underestimate... It's just like Hayao Miyazaki says, never underestimate the power of anime to kill. And also, where is my wife? I haven't seen her in 18 long years.
I've missed my wife, Tails.
And the other thing Miyazaki says is, please give me back my wife. Why did you take my wife? I want to hear from my children again. Whoops, that's the wrong transcript. I'm sorry. Shrink that, maybe. So let me check the OBS real quick. So I got me and Miles on camera. I'll be swapping back and forth between point of views from both me and her during the stream. But Miles is an uber talented artist whose brain is an information sponge, who is also on our game dev team in our Discord, working on the game project that we're making. I've deliberately it's a student project. At its current phase, it's not if we make something worth selling out of it, then I'm going to make sure everyone gets paid for it, or if we solicit donations for it or something. But right now, it's a student project. It's a student project where we're using it to learn and improve at stuff, whether it be improving our actual drawing skills and like ability to make portfolio work or whatever, or learning how to use Blender or other pieces of software that we're going to be using to do it, and also like constructing and working within a game development pipeline.
This pose is just confusing to look at because I have a very tiny screen because I'm watching the Twitch stream from my phone.
Yeah. So I'm going to do like a little bit of review over some of the stuff that Soulcore touched on during the next set. But for now, folks, just kind of vibe. Just maybe like draw from observation a bit. You can maybe kind of do what I'm doing a little bit, which is this kind of structured approach where I'm combining the structure with the gesture. This isn't quite what Soulcore did this morning. I'm kind of aggressively constructing stuff with shapes right now. What was that?
I hated the doodle that I was doing of that. Back to the JoJo pose.
JoJo. JoJo. The reason why I'm drawing this way is I'm trying to loosen up in a way that's less self-conscious, that this helps you just kind of attack things straight on and just get juiced. Because I'm going to be animating kind of like this very aggressive way when I get further along.
Minecraft, like that was on there.
Huh? Oh, the Minecraft thing. Well, don't worry about that for now. I mean, if you really...
No, I'm that post because I looked at it and I was just like, I'm not doing that. Is this what you wanted?
This is what you want. This is what you get. This is what you want. This is what you
I'll
get.
get back to you, Steve.
The government knows when you masturbate. I'm just trying to be really aggressive and stuff. This is actually not unlike a figure drawing exercise that animators will do in real life, where they'll do what I'm doing basically with a Sharpie pen. Forces them to commit to lines. Things are pretty sketchy. It's not as clean as what Soulcore did. I'm kind of the direction that Soulcore was talking about earlier today, where I'm one of those people that I'm an animator who does not like to draw clean because I like to really feel what I'm drawing. That doesn't mean that I can't slow down and be clean and stuff too.
I have a very different approach to
Oh.
things. Just because I'm not an animator.
Zip just DM'd me asking about if they need to speak up. Oh, we're not gonna present the project today, Zip. Don't worry about that. I wanted to actually maybe show some of your work on the stream, or if you wanted to talk about that, if you're on voice with all the good little boys and girls in the audience out there in TV Puppet Land. Indeed. I mean, just do whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah, I'm not going to put you on the spot today. I might show a little bit of your work if you're cool with it on the stream, because some of your stuff is really impressive, and it got me really excited about where we're going to go with the project. I mean, like the stuff that you have is like, that's the direction I want the rest of us kind of going, sort of. Where like where we kind of as a team start making animation about that good together, basically, and kind of unify the style for the animation that we're going to do or whatever. Sorry for the one-sided conversation, folks. Zip is talking to me in DMs, but I'm responding with voice chat. It is sweltering hot in this fucking room. I need to do something. What do I need to do?
Gosh,
I need to open a window or a door.
It's September here in Arizona, and it is still like 110 outside.
I need to open this door for a while. This is just... Okay, Google, what temperature is it in San Diego?
The current temperature in San Diego is 81 degrees.
Jesus. At this hour? Well, no wonder. It's roasting hot in this room. Like, this room has become an oven. They had the door closed. Jeez. I gotta find some way to keep this room cool. Turn the thermostat down, that might help a bit. She's a model and she's looking good.
Well, hello there, Genji Overwatch. Nice to see you here.
Genji Overwatch?
Yeah,
What?
switched.
Huh?
That's the Genji skin.
In what? Oh.
Overwatch.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a Genji skin, isn't it? Well,
That's what I was saying!
yeah, I wasn't looking at the screen. He's an Overwatch skin and he's looking good. I'd like to monetize that in loot boxes. It's understood.
Gosh, it's bad.
I assure you, folks, every single facet of our game will be dripping with loot boxes and microtransactions. It's very important. We've got to get those whales, ladies and gentlemen. I watched the GDC presentations about how to nail those like $100,000 consumers. Those consumers that buy like hundreds of thousands of dollars in virtual coin currency for your shitty game, your shitty mobile app. We've got to chase them big bucks, folks, because we've got
This is bad again.
we've got what we'd like to call absolutely no integrity, absolutely no artistic vision whatsoever.
Going back to Steve. Hello there. It was requested that he had fishnets, I remember.
Speaking of completely lacking in artistic integrity,
Me.
yeah,
Hello.
Miles, actually in pretty decent artistic integrity. Today, CD Projekt Red did a big thing for a bunch of the Cyberpunk 2077 stuff. They did a bunch of presentations about like different gangs in Night City, and chat, if you've watched the presentation, which Night City gang would you want to join? I'm kind of a fan of the Moxies, or whatever it was, the Streetwalker, neon-drenched gang. I also kind of like the Voodoo Boys, the secretive hacker gang. You can't really join gangs in Cyberpunk 2077. You're a merc, which means you're a freelancer who might carry out jobs for the gangs, but you're not really considered, like, you're always going to be suspect. So they won't really let you join the gangs, but you can work for them and get reputation with them and stuff. I think. Hello. Disfrutal movie. What is a fruital movie? Yeah, hello. I am fine. So yeah, we're still doing the warm-up round, folks. Okay, Google, how much time left on timer? Thanks, Google. Okay, Google. How much time left on timer?
T-minus 12 minutes and 3 seconds.
Nice. 12 minutes until we take a little 5-minute break between poses. Then we'll kind of review some of the stuff that Soulcore talked about. I'm kind of familiar with it, and there's some things I want to do to push the direction that I'm drawing in this tonight, but we'll kind of go over it. We'll kind of do a review of some of what she talked about. Not all of it, just a little bit. Those of you who were there for it, feel free to apply the stuff more in depth to what she showed off. There's a few main things like involving like line of action and so on, and like a very, very simple stick puppet that she showed on how to. She showed how to build that. I'm gonna do a quick like kind of demonstration of. And it's enough to give like even the newcomers here enough meat to work with. I've got a particular approach I'm taking right now to kind of loosen up and kind of reintegrate some of the information I've been studying for the last few weeks into what I'm doing. I'm coming back a little bit rusty to figure drawing too, so I'm just trying to kick the doors off with some sketching that I'm not really too concerned about making good or bad drawings with. I'm concerned about just like laying down gestural driven shapes that I can build figures with. I think Zip actually went to bed right now, by the way. I might show some of their art later on stream, but they're in Euro time zone, so it'll be a little bit rough for them to hang out for too long here.
Fisttail? What's a fisttail mochi? Kermit legs. Okay, wait. What if I just...
Should I switch over to you if you're going to do a Kermit legs demo?
Oh gosh, hold on, wait. I'm just trying to find my Kermit so that way I can copy and paste the fucking legs onto it. Oh no, my thing... my Procreate crashed when I tried to open up Kermit!
Very nice. Now we can see all your desktop, Shane.
Oh no, it's just a
in your
comic
iPad.
that my partner made that I have
Shame.
on my back.
Shame.
What, shame that I love my partner and have my partner's work as a background?
Oh, Miles, it looks like you're having a bad dream. Bad dream. A bad dream.
What am I having a bad dream?
Bad dream. Bad dream. Yeah. I've had those nightmares where like a line of dialogue in the dream gets repeated over and over again, and it gets like really, really frightening. How are you doing? 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 I don't know. Can't remember the specific lines, but I've had that happen before. Seems to be a recurring nightmare thing.
I mostly get like character ideas from dreams of mine. Like I have this abandoned story called Skin Deep, which started out because I had a dream of a scarecrow who was also a nanny, but he also fought monsters.
Mm-hmm. That sounds crazy. You're insane.
Yeah, I have a lot of dreams like that. And then I had another dream recently, actually. The character's name was Bemis.
Beavis?
Bemis. That was
Beavis.
her name. No, Bemis. Like
Okay.
spelled...
I know, Beavis. House of Beavis.
Bemus. And...
So, Beavis and Butthead.
she was like a swamp witch, but she was also a butcher as well. And she was, in the dream, she was part of something called like the League of Misfits.
I've occasionally had like those, like, if you're like a story writer or like an artist and stuff, you will occasionally have like these lucid dreams where you kind of know that you're dreaming and you're kind of walking through the paces of structuring a story. Have you ever experienced that in a way that you can really say that you definitely felt that during a dream?
That I'm going through the story structure?
Well, that like have you ever had like kind of a lucid dream where you kind of during the dream knew that you were dreaming to a certain degree, and so you were like creating a story or creating characters in the lucid dream?
No,
as part of like the creative process.
Every time I lucid dream, my brain just sort of turns off, and it's just like, okay, pretty lady, summon.
But anyway, what I'm talking about, you know about the Tetris effect, right?
Yes.
What I'm talking about is kind of like Tetris effect for writers and artists. Where like eventually you're gonna have something like that happen. You probably have had it happen before, but not really been completely aware of it, or enough to remember it completely. But
well, I did have like a story that took place. This was a recent dream of mine. So it was a alien that was disguising themselves as a person's dog. The alien's name was Citrine, and
it was Latrine.
Citrine.
Latrine.
Like
they were a toilet. A dog that turned into a toilet.
Somehow, the dog alien ended up getting lost. I think it was kidnapped or something.
Dognapped.
And then a little girl finds Citrine in a bathroom at a rest stop.
See, I told you. It all comes back to toilets. Sorry, go ahead. Shitting all over you. I'm shitting all over your dream. Go ahead.
But Citrine didn't look like a dog anymore. Citrine looked Pokemon at this point.
Oh, goody. One of those dreams. Those bruh moments in the dreams where like it suddenly changes in a weird way that when you explain it to other people, it sounds really weird and doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, I thought this was going somewhere, and then it just did a dream shift. It was probably really. I love those things that I love those moments in dreams where like they sound more interesting in your head when you experience them than you do talking about them. Not saying that that's quite what happened there, but yeah. One trick I've found when talking about dreams though is to embellish them. Mm-hmm. Like you might abbreviate a little bit of what happened during your dream when you're telling it to other people, or you might just make shit. You might actually just make shit up a little bit. Connect a few of the threads. Right. Connect a few of the threads to make the dream more of a story that has like an emotional point to it, and that's a lot more fun way to tell dreams.
Oh well, the story I told you about the story briefly, and I showed you some of the characters. But I have a story that I've been working on that started out just from a dream I had of this human-alien hybrid breaking out of a prison, and then it evolved into a story I've been working on called Don't Fear the Other Now.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually was going to say that one alien you showed me, that was supposed to be like an arboreal alien, huh? Were we the one that that has kind of a Jotaro thing going on where we don't know where the hat or the head begins and ends?
I can show Pip real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I have like a drawing that I was working on of her, and I was like kind of messing around with.
I was gonna suggest you should maybe like you could maybe make some aspects to the head that are more kind of like flower-like. Like
I did toy around that in like the concepts of her, because in my very earlier concepts of the story, pretty much every character died at one point, and so for her, the sign that she was like dying was her slowly becoming more and more of a plant, because she is a plant. But I cut that because my story's a lot more lighthearted than it started. I started it out as just a sort of self-therapy project, as well as helping out with my memory issues as I was getting off of my medications, because I was misdiagnosed with bipolar disorder when I really had, so that was fun.
Well, you really had what?
Autism.
Oh.
For me, it mostly affects my sensory issues. So if I have too much sensory stimulation, I will get panic attacks.
Well, now I feel bad about you about doing the bad dream thing earlier.
Oh no, it's all right. But it was very difficult for me to get through school.
Oh yeah.
And that's why we thought I had like bipolar disorder or something, because I would just get meltdowns in class, and it
Wow.
felt like it would come out of nowhere. When I know now it's because I was getting sensory overload from like all the lights and noise and shit.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, autism has a lot of autism is a spectrum, so there's a lot of different ways it manifests. It doesn't mean that somebody's mentally disabled. It means that they process information differently in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
I mean, in your case, you're definitely extremely higher functioning. I mean, holy shit,
Oh yeah, for me,
you've gotten
it
really
mostly-
good, really fast at art.
Well, for me, mostly it's like I said, the sensory issues. Like right now, my room is completely dark. I can't even have the fan on in my room, or else it will make me anxious
Interesting.
because of the noise.
I'm kind of the opposite. I kind of need a lot of sensory input in order to get excited and fired up and stuff. And I get depressed when I don't have a lot of sensory input. Okay, Google, stop. I like my RGBs. Well, I don't have any RGBs. I actually I deliberately built a no RGB professional looking PC. But I do like flashy light shows. This gal kind of looks like Mickey Mouse. Yeah, pause it. Okay, Google, set timer 5 minutes.
5 minutes, and we're starting now.
Yes. Thank you, Labrini, for letting people know what we're doing this evening. Also, I want to remind people that this month is September on Twitch. So if you support the stream, I get the full amount for the subscription for new subs on the channel, and you get a 20 to 30% discount for new subs. So this is a really thank you. Yeah, thanks for subbing.
Yeah. On Discord, it's much easier for me to communicate with people because I can control like people's volumes and stuff, and I can control the environment that is around. I mean, but if you were to talk to me in real life, you could see like, oh, yeah, something's up with her. Not entirely sure what, but something's up with her.
Yeah, I mean that's how I've known lots of. There's actually quite a few autistic people on our Discord and stuff, and I've known lots of autistic people in my life. So it's everyone's case is different, and it manifests differently for different people. But yeah.
Yeah, I remember like the teachers and the principals at the school that I went to specifically had to warn me every single time we fire drill stuff because they knew I would have an attack from the loud noise. That was fun. And like kids sometimes make fun of me for it.
Oh yeah.
Of course. Like I had difficulty just relating to people in general growing up, and
do you think art has been a tool for you to overcome that?
Oh yeah, like art and storytelling specifically. The reason why I made stories for myself specifically growing up was to have characters I could relate to.
Yeah. I've heard of that before, like the different ways that autism manifests itself. Like, you have to come up with different strategies than what regular people without autism would come up with in order to make those neural pathways occur, basically. Like the stuff that you would normally process by like looking at other people's faces and reading them and socializing and so on. Those are harder to make those connections and so on. Like everything from like processing of language to processing of visual information and stuff. You have to go, there's like they have to go like a roundabout way, and for whatever their particular case is.
A weird thing that I noticed with myself, this is actually one thing that it's difficult for me art-wise, is my brain does not like noses, and I don't know why. So every single character of mine that I've gotten concepted from a dream I had, all of them don't have noses. And noses are also like the most difficult for me to draw.
That's not too unusual. Noses are actually a problem area for a lot of artists in the same way.
And also, my favorite characters don't have noses. So, Alphonse from Full Metal Alchemist, Venom, Jack Skellington,
Yeah.
Larry Trainer from Doom Patrol. No noses.
Negative Man.
Yeah, negative.
Or as I like to call him, Evadigen Man. Is that your favorite Doom Patrol character?
Yes, I love Larry.
Larry the radioactive Naked Man.
Yes. And I mentioned this before, but Venom was the reason why I started studying muscle anatomy specifically, because I saw that boy and I was like, I want to draw him.
Yeah.
I want to draw him correctly.
For those who don't know, Negative Man is like a character that was invented in the 1960s, and they're basically kind of like a radioactive version of a JoJo stand user.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
The original Stan.
Yeah. They're a pilot who came into contact with a cosmic entity that has it cohabitates their body, but as a result of that, their body is highly radioactive, and so they have to wear these specially treated bandages to prevent people from being exposed to the face-melting radiation that composes their body. Okay, Google, stop. And their power is that they can manifest a negative spirit, the Negative Man. It's like a negative outline of energy where Larry would inhabit. That is an entity with its own consciousness that he can direct.
What would your JoJo Stan be named?
I had a good answer for that a while ago. I have to think of that one again.
I think I would make mine Nasty Habits.
Nasty Habits. Yeah. People know about. I'm sure that some people know about Arc 3 and JoJo, Oingo and Boingo.
Yeah, every time I mention
Oingo Boingo Brothers. And that kind of this kind of like Klasky Supo art style that they did was it Oingo or Boingo who had the comic that the underground comic book that's a stand. Also, I just drew Larry Trainer on a portrait of Larry Trainer on stream just now. Here he is from Doom Patrol. Oops. There we go. And the negative spirit, I'll probably just throw it behind him.
one thing that, again with autism, that sometimes gets in my way a lot when I'm drawing is that every once in a while I'll just be drawing and then my brain will just be like, okay, we have to go pace around the kitchen for 30 minutes now. I'm just like, why? I'm just like, we gotta.
So, I have some things like that associated with the bipolar disorder that I have, where there's certain comforting repetitive actions, but it manifests a little differently. But one time when I was on a certain medication, when I was back in college, there was a period where I had the symptom of a side effect on the medication called akathisia. Mm-hmm. And what akathisia is, okay, so there's something that you will take for granted in your brain, that every time you sit down in a chair, every time you even shift your weight to comfortably stand upright, every time you lay down in a bed, there is a part of your brain that releases dopamine to make you feel comfortable. Now, imagine if that part of your brain got switched off. Just completely switched off. So there's no possibility of you being comfortable, no matter how you're sitting or standing or laying down, anywhere you sit. And it's such a simple thing, but when it's taken from you, it's huge. Mm-hmm. That's akathisia. and it was hell. I could not sleep for like a month, basically.
Oh, shit.
The only time that I was able to sleep was I pass out from exhaustion, and I'd wake up like several minutes later, over and over again. It fucked me up for years. Like I experienced it for about like a month or so, but it like the damage from that experience like hurt me for years. Really bad fucking side effect. And the reason I bring it up is because you're talking about pacing around. Pacing around sometimes, feeling compelled to pace around. That was me also, because like I couldn't do anything. So if you've ever seen like those people who are like suffering like with those like drug addicts on the street corner that are suffering from withdrawal, oftentimes they are suffering from akathisia, like pacing around back and forth and shaking out their limbs and stuff. That was basically me for like a month. I had to drop out of my classes and stuff, and I eventually did graduate. But oh my god, that was hell. That was like the worst. That was like the worst period of my entire life.
I am actually a high school dropout because I just could not do school anymore.
Oh,
I couldn't.
I dropped out. I actually dropped out during my junior year, and I graduated my senior year through a remote program because I had a nervous breakdown from a chronic buildup of stress from the school, and that resulted in a nervous breakdown due to my bipolar disorder. But I did graduate through a remote program, but it was just that experience also left scars on me.
Yeah, I just couldn't go another year with like having 3 meltdowns a week, and if my mom wasn't picking me up from a meltdown, I would be picked up from vomiting, because I also had like really bad stomach issues at that time, which I found out I got a weird thing where I'm intolerant to sugar. So if I have like too much carbs, because carbs turn into sugar in your stomach.
Is it a diabetic thing, or?
No, I'm not diabetic. It's just like
It's like a weird gastronomic thing or something.
Yeah.
I mean, having too much sugar, that will make you vomit, but...
But no, it's like even little amounts. Like I can eat ice cream, but I will vomit afterwards. It's not the dairy though; it's the sugar specifically.
Yeah, some people are like that. The glucose kind of... That might be kind of linked to some of your other symptoms too, like how your body processes how your body chemistry works. It might be affecting some like other things in your nervous system and so on, how you process information.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Yeah, and it's hard to say. I mean, I'm not a fucking doctor. I'm a space dad, but I know everything and I don't make mistakes. Is it any wonder why, when you have a hard life, you want to come up with an alter ego, or a better you, like my space dad. My space dad persona is kind of a mix of Doctor Who and a few other things, like a 1950s sitcom dad. I'm doing Larry Trainer here. I'm probably going to color this in before. Okay, Google, what time is it? I know. Okay, Google, how much time left on timer? I don't think I said it.
It looks like you don't have any timers set at the moment.
Alright, what time is it now? It is... Let's see, 6:47. Well, we were continuously drawing here, so I'm going to switch it back to the... Let's see, the reference. Guess focus with reference. There we go. So we'll start again. Okay, Google, set timer for 25 minutes. Okay, Google, set timer for 25 minutes.
25 minutes. Starting now.
Alright, folks, so we're going to go over a little bit of stuff that Soulcore touched on real quick, using some of these the poses that are on screen.
Be right back.
Sure.
Oh, I think that 25% battery.
A little quick sketch of Negative Man there. I might color that in later.
Yay!
I'll be right back.
Alright, so one of the things that Slowcore talked about today is the importance of line of action. This guy's kind of crooked line of action. But, like when you get a pose like this, you look for like the longest axis and the line of action throughout the entire pose. Like, if you can summarize the pose in a single line, how would you summarize it? I don't know. Something like this, maybe. I bet I could even go like one bit further and do something like that for his pose. Then you go back through, add a little head sphere maybe, like that. Add the tilt of the shoulders with just a line. Add the tilt of the hips down here. This is a little proportional off, but I can just extend this out and down here. And I'd probably add the leg, something like this. Another line of action for the leg, something like that. So one of the things that Slowcore showed off, in addition to like finding the sweeping line of action of a pose, is using this kind of simple mannequin puppet, like this. To pose out your figures in Quick Sketch. It's simple, all the information is removed, it just becomes about the pose. And I would say that you can even go a step further than this. Like, you can take the Glenn Philpott approach, for example. You start with a head sphere, tilted in the direction that you need it to be. Find the little top of it. I'm going to pause this guy real quick. Actually, we'll go to another pose real fast. Let's find a better. Well, no, I'll stick on him because I already drew the head. You start like this, and then go down to about where like the pelvis would be, something like that, with like a quick line of action like that. Find the tilt of the shoulders, like so, and the tilt of the hips. And then you just create this kind of like box body. Something along these lines, like a bendy box body. So, I can put like a center line on it. Actually, that's kind of off what the pose is, so let me try that again real fast. It's more like this. I think I need a better pose for this. This cockeyed pose is kind of throwing me off. Alright, let's see. I'll find a good one. I'm going to do a better demo of this. That's a pretty good one, I think. Alright. So, start off with a little noggin like this. Add a little C-curve for the neck. Like that, like a couple parallel lines like that. Do a quick line across like that for the tilt of the shoulders. And you get this kind of crisscross pattern thing for the basic sweep of the body and the tilt of the hips. Then you establish a box down here for the pelvis and the direction that the pelvis is turned, like so. And then you could either make another box for the torso, for the upper torso, but we're going to use a sphere here. Maybe push the sphere to the right a little bit here. And from this you can use some simple line of action lines for the legs. And you don't have to go too fancy with the feet for now. Like, you're not really concentrating on the feet. Just maybe make something that's kind of planted. Like, I'm using a couple of ellipses down there. You might want to throw like a little ground plane in there to kind of approximate where the feet are planted a little. And also, because I was zoomed in when I did this, I ran into a proportional issue, but I'm going to fix that by beefing up the head size a little bit. And then this leg back over here, we'll just do a little kind of quick gesture thing right here. It kind of looks like his foot is off the ground a bit, so we'll include that a little. I can just do like a little kind of ellipse that's planted on the ground there to the front of the foot. Nothing fancy. And then this shoulder's kind of drooping down here, so let's maybe do this. Have that arm hanging down here, the indication of the hand right here. Just kind of do a little quick indication of the pose of the hand. Oops. One thing I want to note is that, like, bottom of the rib cage is about where the elbow is when the arm is up against the body. Of course, this guy is drooping his shoulders a bit, so it's a little bit below about where the bottom of the rib cage would be. I'm putting the center line here. So it's very dirty. But I just want to kind of give a general idea of one way to approach this stuff. Yeah, there's a general kind of gesture study of that particular pose, and that's one way to approach it. I'll shift to another pose real quick to give another example. Let's do a vignette of this guy. And vignettes, you don't have to always draw a full figure every time. Like, you can vignette a hand or a head or an upper body or an arm or something, and just do a study of that for one pose. Sometimes the photos you get are just a vignette themselves. You can invent stuff if you feel confident about trying to do so. If you want to invent beyond what you're seeing on screen. But in this case, we're just going to do a quick vignette of the torso, I would say. So let's see, it looks like the shoulders are tilted towards us. I'm going to show another way to kind of handle things, which is I like to think of the upper part of the shoulders as the top of a box. So in this case, the box is kind of turned towards us. And this is kind of just approximation, it's a guesstimate. This is a quick sketch after all. I should probably want to pause that. And so you notice there's a curve to his body, and one of the things I'm doing tonight an awful lot, you're going to see me doing a lot, is I try to integrate the gesture directly in the 3D shapes that I'm making. So that means I'm just going to make this kind of curve on this cube here. Let's see, that looks like it's his back, doesn't it? It's kind of hard for me to tell how his back is twisting. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we see some of his belly a little bit right there, and some of the side of his body, but he is doing a little bit of a torso twist kind of thing. That's okay, we'll kind of approximate it. We're kind of riffing for these poses to kind of feel them out and stuff. These are challenging, interesting poses to kind of mess with, and they all present different challenges for how you would want to break them down. This guy's head should actually be a little bit further forward. Instead of moving it with the lasso tool, though, I'm going to actually redraw it over to the side a little bit. Side and down below. And he's more kind of turning that way a little bit. We see the side plane of the head a little bit more, so I'm going to kind of make this kind of sunglasses for the eye sockets there, just really quick. I'll kind of use a quick circle for the indication of his hand in there. I have been doing some hand drawing practice lately, so I'm going to probably kick some of that into some of my drawing this evening too. Because I kind of want to be holistic about how I approach this stuff and build on the things I'm practicing throughout the week. So there is some major foreshortening going on with this arm, but I'm not going to worry about indicating that yet. I'm just going to get like these kind of double lines here to contain the general shape of the arm. Do the same thing kind of here a bit. Draw through the pose a little bit to kind of get the deltoid in there behind his body a bit. He's kind of wearing that little oven mitt sort of padding on his fighter padding on his forearms there. So the first thing I'm going to do to kind of add some dimensionality to the forearms is I can look at that back forearm and I can tell what direction his hand is coming towards us from how the ellipses on the wrist guard are turning towards us. So when you're making drawings like this, you want to have like indications of what direction things are facing. Like right here, this forearm is kind of facing. The forearm's kind of facing parallel to us, so the ellipses are going to be a little bit more flat, or a little bit narrower, and these ones are foreshortening towards us, so they're going to be wider, larger. In fact, I think I should reposition this a little bit. Shoulder is about here-ish, I want to say. Some power through the rest of this. Shoulder should be down here more. Just erasing that. And then we get these ellipses inside here that are describing the direction of the arm there. I'm going to actually make a little cube end here, to the bend of the elbow, right there, to indicate the side plane bending at the elbow for us, like so. But this is a quick sketch, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much more, but I might actually lower opacity on it to show a little bit more what I'm talking about with this thing. With the change of the direction of the planes, the indication of the ellipses turning towards us of the bicep, the upper arm, and the foreshortening. The turning parallel and away from us of the other forearm. And maybe throw a little kind of cubic palm wedge for warming up into doing the hand stuff I want to do this evening, in addition to the other things I'm doing, onto this. Here, I'm just going to throw some finger joints in there, just real quick and dirty. Cylinder shapes here of the forearm. We got about 30 seconds left. I've done an extended period of time on this particular pose because I wanted to spend a little bit longer to describe some stuff for people. If there's a pose that you guys want to work on longer when we're doing these tonight, by the way, I do strongly recommend like screenshotting, or even using like the clip function in Twitch or something to swipe an image to work on longer. Alright, those are some interesting poses here. We'll stay on this one. Take your pick of which people you want to draw. Maybe just do several lines of action for the people in the picture. Kind of like this. So I started with that right here. I'm going to maybe try to kind of rough in sort of this composition a little bit, using that first character as a slash pose as a starting point. So you get kind of that head sphere in there. This guy kind of leaning in here. I'm not expecting to get everything in. I just want to get like some of the broad strokes in. This is really cool though. This group of parkour people look like a bunch of real-life superheroes ready to spring into action in the city, don't they? Got one more minute on this pose. So the last stream I had on Monday, excuse me, not Monday, what the fuck? I'm sorry, Wednesday. Wednesday's stream where we covered hand drawing was the most successful stream I've had yet on Twitch. We had 70 something average viewers, like 70 average viewers, that's what it was, for the whole stream. Normally I'd average to around like 20 to maybe like 50 tops, but it was like 70 for the whole stream. And I got 5 new subs, which is the largest number of new subs, well, not largest number of subs actually, period, that I've gotten in any stream. Hoping to see more of that in the future, but I mean, things being what they are, you can never predict when people. Oh, you can never predict when that stuff's going to happen. But yeah, if you'd like to support the stream and support the classes, September's going on right now, so now's a good time to support the stream. Right now I'm kind of reverting to a combination of line of action stuff for parts of the body like the legs and gestural 3D shapes. Kind of think my way through the pose a bit. So one thing I want people to try to include, if they can help it, is some kind of ground plane on your poses, or wherever you're able to. Because you want to get in the habit of using some kind of a point of reference for perspective. The kind of animation I'm going to be teaching actually through here, and that we're going to be analyzing. So tomorrow's Saturday class, we're going to be doing an analysis of some Sakuga animation from Sakugaburu to learn from during tomorrow's class, which would be really fun. But Sakuga animation makes extensive use of perspective directly integrated into the animation. Like almost everything you see in Sakuga uses perspective grids. When you're animating and when you're drawing, you want to generally be making use of perspective grids wherever you can. I had it told to me by one Sakuga animator, always use perspective grids every time you're animating. And don't ever not use perspective grids. Oh, we've seen this pose before, haven't we? Let me skip that one. So I'm starting by establishing the head, sort of, as this kind of cubic, sort of wedge shape. Just kind of playing with a design that I can sink my teeth into for purposes of this quick sketch. This case kind of felt like making that sort of unique shape might help me hook into it a little bit more. And I'm going to do the shoulders as that kind of top of the cube thing. And then I can use that, the corners of it, to kind of find the curve of the body a little bit. Center line of the torso down there. Side plane of the, wherever I kind of approximate where the pelvis is. So around here-ish, I want to say. I presume that the pelvis is tilted at a different angle than the body. Like the body's kind of tilted like this, the pelvis would be tilted more like this. Maybe lower opacity on it so I can get the limbs in. Something like this. See if I maybe put in some ground plane first. A little cubic bottom of the foot to kind of indicate the direction of the foot a little bit. I'm going to kind of do this to sort of generally kind of approximate where the foot is going to be placed. Just kind of feeling out where it would kind of fit into that perspective grid on the ground. Just going to do some quick gesture to kind of really emphasize that. Oops. Let's erase that a bit. To kind of emphasize just how much compression is happening on that leg and thigh there, that side. There's a big stretch going on here. I could even push that more than what's going on up there. Go. Okay, Google, how much time left on timer?
There's 27 seconds left.
Oh, goody. This will be our last pose real quick. Okay, Google, stop. When this pose changes, we'll go on another 5-minute break. Okay, Google, stop. Let's maybe set the timer for... Okay, Google, set timer for 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Starting now.
So yeah, this is kind of a trick that well, not really a trick, but it's a technique that Steve Houston talks about in his lectures that I'm trying to make extensive use of in what I do, where I integrate gesture directly into the 3D shapes that I draw. And I've seen animators use varying versions of this. Steve Houston actually has a lot of stuff that I see pop up in especially Disney animators from the 90s work. I'm kind of doing this piecemeal. I didn't really work out the line of action beforehand on this, so maybe there's some more... Maybe there's another path you can do on this to kind of unify the pose a bit. So she does have more of a tilt towards the camera of her upper body. There should be more of a contrast between her upper and lower body a bit.
Oh my gosh, my mic has been muted this entire time.
Oh, it has been? I thought you were.
Yeah.
I thought you stepped out.
No, I've been here.
Oh.
I just fucking started doing thumbnails of Jack Skellington because I was just like, you know what?
Are you streaming?
know.
Have you been trying to
Yeah,
stream?
Yeah, it was on my thingamabobber, but I stopped streaming now because my iPad is at 5%.
Oh. You're going to have to go to Krita? Or are you plugging in your iPad?
I'm gonna plug in my iPad. It just I have to use like a big charger. F for me, yeah.
Bruh. It's okay, I was carrying on without you.
Oh, guys.
I never needed you, Miles.
Never needed me. Yeah.
We'll pause it on Beef Boy there. I guarantee there's a guy in a Scottish outfit that looks like he does not have a Scottish accent. Are you streaming, Miles?
I stopped the stream.
Yeah, I know.
Are you winning, son?
Are you? Yeah, I'll put it on the little reactive desktop background that now reacts to my voice. Isn't that neat?
Oh boy.
Here, check it out, folks. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
I'm sorry, John. I'm so hungry.
I was so hungry, John.
Anyway, I was just doing like little thumbnail doodles of Jack Skellington because
Yeah.
last year for Halloween I drew Jack Skellington on the Nothing to Fear album. So I was thinking this year either draw him on the solo album or the Good For Your Soul album. I might go with Good For Your Soul just because it will be like a little bit of background work, which I need to do.
Yeah. Also,
I avoid doing backgrounds at all costs.
Also, thank you, the Rune Collector, for the tier 1 sub. You are the first sub of the stream tonight. I hope that there will be more, but, you know, I mean, it's at everyone's discretion whether they sub or not. I'm kind of a niche stream. I'm an underground stream. I'm outside the mainstream. I'm a stream outside the mainstream. But yeah, folks, if you like what if you like our stream, if you want to see more, do more stuff, you want to lend us some cash so that we can get more equipment to run the streams better and stuff. Send us some wet hot dollars with subs, or direct donations, or subscription on Patreon. Yeah.
Every time Love posts sketches, I feel jealous. Oh no, someone sent me.
That's good content. I tried watching Ninja earlier today. Every time I've gone into Ninja, he's always saying something about his. He's always complaining about his contract, or his contracts or something. It's the weirdest. Yeah.
It's very difficult for me to like consume content, if that makes any sense.
Consume.
Like, you have like so many influences and stuff, and you always like send me just like, oh, this is influenced by da 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 and da da, and I'm just like, how do you consume so much content? My brain just wants me to watch the same 3 movies on repeat.
Yeah. Well, try being sick and not being able to draw, but only being able to consume for years, and you'll be just like me. But no, I just get I love going down rabbit holes of different things and learning a lot of information about stuff. Like, we were looking at Alejandro Jodorowsky movies for inspiration for the game project we're working on. Alejandro Jodorowsky, for those who don't know, is a really wild Spanish surrealist filmmaker who made some really wild-ass movies in the 1960s and 70s, and then made tons and tons of comics with the late great. Okay, Google, stop. Who made tons of really awesome comics with the late great Jean Giraud, also known as Mobius. And the reason why H.R. Giger became the powerhouse in the movie industry that he did was Jodorowsky introduced H.R. Giger to a young director named Ridley Scott. Among other things, like, Jodorowsky is responsible for tons of amazing artists in the industry getting their start. The reason for that is, and it's covered in a documentary called Jodorowsky's Dune. Jodorowsky was originally going to make an adaptation in the 1970s of Dune. Before Star Wars, before anything like that. It was going to be like a psychedelic, mind-altering, mind-blowing experience of the movie. Salvador Dali was going to be at a cameo role as one of the characters in the movie. Orson Welles was going to play Baron Harkonnen, I shit you not.
Get that mug.
There was the choreography and the knife fight scenes that was worked out in the storyboards and the training that they were going through was influenced by kung fu films, and was like doing stuff with choreography that was like way ahead of its time for what they were planning with it. It was going to be amazing, and then everything was falling in place. Pink Floyd and several other really fucking awesome bands were going to do the music on it, and then the studio backed out when everything was in place. And you know, the storyboards for Jodorowsky's Dune, which were drawn by Mobius, by the way, they turned that into a giant like limited print art book for the entire film that circulated in. It was like a big expense. It's like one of those big expensive art book kind of things, you know. One of those kind of giant ass art books that you spend like $1,000 to buy and stuff. But that thing, the limited edition print of that, wound up into hands of a lot of directors, including a young George Lucas, who was heavily inspired by a lot of things he saw in it, including the knife fight, the way the staging of the knife fight played out. The knife fights played out in it, and that wound up having an inspiration. That had wound up having an inspiration on him and the design team for, of course, the Jedi fights in Star Wars. In addition to all the other influences that Lucas was pulling from, like Akira Kurosawa and so on. And Jodorowsky's happy with that. He likes that he had that kind of a positive influence. He doesn't think Lucas ripped him off. He think because like the movie didn't get made. He's glad that some of his artists he's glad that he gave some inspiration to other people. Which is kind of cool. Jodorowsky's always been kind of a really generous, gregarious artist. And Eric Andre is friends with him now. And there's actually homages to. So, folks, it's a little bit non-safe for work, but I would strongly recommend searching on YouTube for well, here, maybe I should link it. Ski Holy Mountain. I'll link it in Twitch chat. Watch it for yourself. The trailer's a little non-safe for work, but this will give you a good taste of what Jodorowsky movies are like. John Lennon was responsible, actually, for this movie getting its U.S. release when it came out, by the way. Alejandro Jodorowsky's The Holy Mountain. It's just a wild kind of almost stream of consciousness and mysticism, fourth wall breaking movie. It's really good. It's a spectacle, and it has like poetic meaning to it and stuff. But it mocks the idea of pretentiousness. Like, if you're getting your head up your ass about how deep the movie is, the film will mock you for it, especially at the very end. But I love it. It's a fun ass, good ass film with a lot of imagery that's still very shocking in it to this day. He's done several other films that are also worth seeing, like El Topo, which is like a surrealist Western movie. Anyway, we're gonna start. Okay, Google, set timer for 25 minutes. Okay, Google, set timer for 25 minutes.
25 minutes, and that's starting now.
Away we go. So I'm going to get started on this Scott. I'm going to use my bendy cube head here to kind of establish the direction of his head. Feel good about that, and I'll have kind of this kind of sunglasses sort of thing for his eyes in front of his head. Maybe a little circle for the side plane of the head. I'm just playing with shapes, kind of breaking this stuff down. These are the kind of problems I would work through when I'm just kind of like doing my initial pass on a pose for animation. Maybe establish the head first, or establish the line of action first. But establishing the head lets me kind of place the proportions of the figure a little bit. Just going to do this. I just kind of drew a little large there. Let me shrink that. Oh, Miles, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I
on,
just didn't want to interrupt you.
On stream, I mean.
Oh no, I put my iPad on the charger, and the charger's on the other side of it.
Oh, okay. So you well, you can't plug it in, and you can't plug it in, and it has to be plugged. You have to be plugged in. Yeah, okay.
Because if I use it while it's plugged in, it just won't charge.
Yeah, there's got to be a way for you to. There's got to be like some kind of a weird multi-plug thing for you to do that. So it. How come it doesn't?
I need to figure out.
Is it not enough power coming through the cable or something from the PC when you're plugged in? Or
yeah,
something?
If I like plug it into my PC, it won't charge fast enough.
Yeah,
so I have to, like,
you might need like a USB-C outlet for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that might give enough power over the cable line to charge the iPad or something.
I think it would be fun if I did like a little lesson on shading and stuff.
I do read chat, you jerk. I'm just vibing. No, I'm just kidding. Somebody asking if I read chat. Oh yeah. No, yeah. The guy who requested absurd amount of money for playing the Emperor or whatever, but they were going to pay it, and that's not what stopped the production. Like, I like the story how he got Orson Welles on board. Like Orson, he's like, if you play Baron Harkonnen in a movie, this restaurant that we're sitting in right now, Mr. Orson Welles, I'll hire the head chef here to come with us and cook meals for you every day for free. And Orson was like, oh hell yes. And then Orson Welles, that's how he got Orson Welles on board. I like to picture an alternate timeline in which I think a lot of us do. I like to picture an alternate timeline where that movie got made. Hodorowski says he would love an animated adaptation of Dune made at some point. I don't know how much of an influence that Hodorowski's Dune is having on the new Dune series that's coming out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm. Also, I've always felt badly for David Lynch on David Lynch's Dune. Like he and the screenwriter that he was working with for that movie, they wanted to do something really unique originally. They wanted to do a movie with like a cast of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire events of Dune were going to take place remotely.
Mm-hmm.
Like the movie was going to take place in a remote outpost on Dune, where like the characters were either watching events unfold from the book from a distance and hearing about them through communication. And it was going to be like a very kind of interpersonal thing. There was still going to be stuff with like sandworms and them dealing with that and stuff. It was going to be like a slice of life of living on Dune. And that's really fucking interesting. That would have been really cool. And consider, and like when you consider, like when you look at something like Elephant Man or Eraserhead of David Lynch in his early prime, that could have been something really, really remarkable. That's something that would be a little bit like of the Russian film director Tarkovsky with Solaris and Stalker. That's what it kind of sounds like it would have been to me. Like some kind of really meditative film with points of like really deep introspection and like shocking weird imagery. Mind you, like this is David Lynch we're talking about, so even with a cast of like 2, there's a lot of weird shit that could have happened. And remember what the spice is. The spice has hallucinogenic precognitive powers. So if that's involved with even just a cast of 2, that could have led to some like really interesting visual and spiritual imagery. But yeah, unfortunately, studios being what they are, didn't really see things that way, and Lynch's and his buddies' artistic vision kind of got run roughshod over. Hey, we've seen this pose before. We're looping around back to where we started.
One?
No, we're not. It's just
I don't know.
I think it's randomizing. I think it's randomizing because the one after it is one we haven't seen before.
I don't know if it was like meant to be a musical or a movie musical.
Dune the musical.
No, not Dune. But it was a cut musical that Danny Elfman was working on. I think it was after Nightmare Before Christmas. It was called Jimmy Calicut, and it was supposed to be like Pinocchio meets Lord of the Flies, apparently. And I'm just very curious as to what that would entail.
Jesus. Like a movie that kind of takes place on like a fucked up Lord of the Flies version of Pleasure Island.
Because there was the villain song in there, and it was sung by Dan, and he was like this evil teacher character, and it was actually...
Did they release like an album of it later or something?
No, they didn't release an album, but you can like search up Jimmy Calicut on YouTube, and you can see some of the songs that Dan worked on. There was another musical that he was going to work on called Little Demons, and that one was a bit more clear-cut of what the plot was supposed to be. It was like 3 kids trying to get their mother back from the dead or something, and they were like killing people or something like that.
I kind of like that though.
Mm-hmm. I didn't like the music for Little Demons as much as I did for the Jimmy Calicut demos.
We need more horror and sci-fi musicals, I think.
Oh, that would be fun. There was actually like a point in the development of my personal like therapy story where it was going to have musical elements. There's still and like in my head there's still some musical elements. Like there is a kind of gag within the first arc where back in what would be Earth time 1989, Picnic Suga, when they were on like when the Interstellar Police Force was on their annual checkup on Sector 51, they went and they stole a bunch of music. Like, they put on a little invisibility cloak and went to a record shop and stole just a bunch of music and uploaded it onto, like, the galactic web. And they didn't think anything was going to come up about it, but it became, like, cult classics among various beings. And especially with the first suspect with the case that they're investigating within the first arc, Shawl, she specifically really likes the band Devo. And that's like her opening act.
Space junk. She
Yeah,
was hit
so
by
her-
space junk.
She is, in my head, she is like, introduced to the entire story with the song Jocko Homo. And then after that is the introduction of Model 3 with Too Much Paranoias. It's very fun working on this story. Even though, like, I know it doesn't sound, because I'm like just trying to summarize it a bit. I actually have written down the outline for what would be the pilot episode.
DEVO. That's actually that's what Evo's a huge influence on my Space Dad persona. So that's where the jumpsuit comes from. There's actually drawings of my Space Dad in a yellow Devo jumpsuit.
Oh my gosh.
With Devo glasses and other things. From like years back. Are we not, man? We are here. Do you like do you listen to the Polysix at all?
No, I have no idea what
The
that is.
Polysix is a Japanese band that is basically a Devo fan band.
Oh, that's cool.
In terms of their style, but they like kick things up several more energetic notches.
Do you listen to XTC?
Yes.
Yes, I figured. That's it. That's the end of the thought.
No.
That's probably
Oh
it.
Helly, oh Helly. Dun, 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 dun.
You were waiting for a more me mochi? What about more me? What more me do you want?
Me.
All? Everything?
Chat wants to devour you.
Oh,
They want to
God.
devour your heart. We want your soul. According to that.
Oh, so they want to
freelance-
bore me.
We
Okay.
want your soul.
If you want to bore me, it's gonna have to cost a little money, you know, $20.
If you want to kill me, it's gonna cost you.
If you want to kill me, it's gonna cost you like $20. Sorry.
Yeah.
Deadass, I probably would, like, if someone was like, hey, I'll give you $20 for your pinky toe, I'd probably be like, yeah, I'll cut it off and send it to you.
Fuck no. Chat, what price can you put on a pinky toe? I will cut off my pinky if I get a sub in the next 5 minutes. How's that?
Alright, classroom chat. Tell me how much you'd have to
Chat-
go off
chat,
to cut off your pinky toe.
If I get a
Pinky toe option now.
if I don't get a sub in the next 5 minutes, I will open the cylinder. I will open the cylinder. I will escalate the war.
Which side?
Yeah.
I call of love.
Which side of the war are you on?
Y'all are doing it for money.
Yeah, I'm just doing it for money. I'm a merc, okay? That's what I do. I'm an art merc. Chat, I will literally nuke the entire planet if I don't get a sub in the next 5 minutes. No. My finger's on the button. No.
Okay.
I mean, it's
someone asked
always
earlier,
inconsistent. I'm not too worried about getting subs because like this is an art
left
stream.
pinky toe.
It's harder to get subs on art streams. What's that?
No, someone asked which side specifically, so I said left pinky toe.
Wiggle your big toe. Am I gonna have to put like a Quentin Tarantino with a viewfinder thing up next to your stream thing when you come back on?
I don't know.
Feet discourse. ladies and gents.
Can I get half a Snickers bar from though? Says
Oh dear. We had quite a few viewers earlier. It was like 90 something. Now it's down to 64. 64 is still a damn good amount. And for this long in the stream, I think we might wind up having an average viewer count this stream that's higher than the last one, if things hold up the way they are.
wow, it seems like when I'm on your stream, your viewer count goes up.
Chat, chat. Let's get some poggers or whatever your emoticon of choice is. Whatever you kids are doing these days that's popular. I don't fucking know.
I don't know either.
Let's put them in chat for Carbyrus, who just saved the entire world. They literally are the savior of humanity by subscribing a tier 1 sub. Good on you. So I think we're on like hang on, I think I actually put a yeah, I put on a sub goal, but it's not activated right now. Jesus Christ, what a mess. I put on a sub goal on screen, but I didn't like how it looked, so I got rid of it. But yeah, we've got 2 so far. Maybe we can get close to or meet the record of subs this stream. The record we're going for is 5. If we get close to it, that'd be cool. But whatever. 2 subs for a stream is better than 0. I mean,
Fun fact, I once woke up to my dad blasting Welcome to the Black Parade from the kitchen. Keep in mind, my dad was born in 1955, and me, like 15 years old at the time, just hears from the kitchen, I am back. I'm just like, fuck, Dad.
So I'm happy to be back here for figure drawing. I'm thinking I probably want to schedule more successive days of figure drawing in future. Well, I'll kind of plot how I'm going to do that, but I think that it would be a good idea to do like more. For the longest time, I've been wanting to do a figure drawing marathon stream series where it's just like back to back. Like, not so much that I like tire myself out and I burn out, but I mean like where it's like kind of a subathon, maybe towards the end of September or something, where I'm just like doing tons and tons of figure drawing on stream, and it's just like huge amounts of figure drawing practice mileage. It's for my benefit as much as it would be for, like, you know, getting interest and stuff. But I almost would want to do like a stream art boot camp sort of thing or something, where like it's just like really hitting, clocking in that figure drawing mileage on stream together for like an extended period of some kind. Hopefully we might be able to do something like that next week. I don't know. If I do, I'll kind of play it around what I'm doing currently in the game dev project that both me and Miles are involved in. Part of the reason why I want to do that is not just to generate, you know, subs and stuff. It's also because like the project that we're working on is going to be very demanding for like the level of figure drawing the level of figure drawing practice and execution I need to rise to the occasion to execute the animation and drawing.
I'm excited for
so
when. Oh, sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, so I want to clock in like a ton of mileage, so that it feeds into the quality of the drawing work that we're going to put to the concept art and to the animation for the project.
But I was going to say, I am excited for when we finalize the protagonist design, because I would love to just do like a poster draw. Like Riot splash art kind of look and poster form.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, like I'm okay with you doing it your own style too. I mean,
yeah.
It's you can do whatever you want in your own style, and The thing about the protagonist is like I could see him in different outfits, and of course he's a character that you can swap heads on. So like he's more like an idea than an individual per se, and you kind of have a good heading of what his attitude is, and like being given the kind of character that he is too, his personality can also change depending on what head he's got on.
You said he was like loosely based on Dan, so I
Yeah,
just
Danny
took
Elfman.
that and
Definitely.
yeah, I took that and went full force.
He's based on like a bunch of things. Danny Elfman. There's if anyone who's seen the film Tetsuo the Iron Man, which is an underground Japanese body horror film. He's kind of a mix of the protagonist and the antagonist in that movie. Akira from Devilman Crybaby, and of course the original Devilman manga. There's a lot of different influences kind of being piled together for our protagonist for the game. We're going to be sorting through some of them later this week when I get the design bible together. I've got to make like mood boards and stuff for the team this next week.
I have 2 brothers named Danny.
Danny and Danny. Well, I'm also named Danny in real life.
There were so many Dannys, I know.
So many Dannys.
So many Dannys. It's like too many cooks, but too many Dans.
And all of us can do the oompa 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 thing.
I think he said like he did all the recordings of that in like the basement of his house, so I could just like imagine like he's in like the distance they just hear like
Like there's a lot of different sources he pulled from for inspiration for a lot of that stuff. Like there's lots of old timey music. There's a lot of Yiddish music that he pulled influences into music. There's, I mean, like this is a guy who fused polka with ska for his pop band. So
and it worked.
Yeah.
Fucking slaps.
I remember him on a radio interview talking about how like Bollywood music was also always a huge influence on him.
Yeah, I can see that.
John Hippichan Ho, Gina Hassan Ho. The Ghost World song. You should see Ghost World, by the way.
I will keep that in mind. I still have to watch.
It's based on the comic by Daniel Clowes, who's an artist that I think you might want to check out too. Daniel Clowes is a kind of one of the alternative comic artists from the 1990s and onwards too. His big heyday was the 90s and the 2000s for like his best work. I haven't kept up with it recently. He might have put out some really awesome shit more recently. But he was mainly known for this comic called 8 Ball in the 90s, and some of the stories of which were compiled into their own individual graphic novels, like Ghost World. And Ghost World was adapted into a film with Steve Buscemi and a few other actors. Yeah, a few other actors. How about that's really descriptive. Sorry, folks, I don't have the IMDb implant in my brain, so.
I don't know why, but I was just reminded of the time I had like gotten my wisdom.
Remember the time?
Still remember the time.
Hey,
but
low ash.
But my partner was like messaging me like after I got my teeth taken out, and they were like, I don't remember how we got to this topic, but they were like, yeah, you can have my baby teeth if you want. I can send them to you. I'm just like, I don't want your baby teeth. And so I like told that to my friends, and just like, haha, my partner said like they could send me their baby teeth. And then my friends, all of them were just like, why didn't you accept it? you could have made like a necklace or earrings and stuff.
Could've-
And then one of my friends just said, "Free Tic Tacs."
You could have made like a quarter. They'd like buy you a car.
And then, like, I started talking to my friends more, just like, no, I don't want to have my friends' teeth. And then, apparently, every single one of my friends collects teeth.
Oh god. Do you know about the Tooth Child from Channel Zero?
No.
You might want to Google image search that. It's a marvelous piece of special effects makeup. Let me put it that way. Just Google image search Channel Zero Tooth Child.
I'm gonna put screenshots.
It'd be up your alley for like it might set off some tryptophobia though. That's the thing. Holy shit, folks! Is that a JoJo reference?
Is that a JoJo?
No, that's just a fashion model pose, folks. Which is what most JoJo references are. They're just fashion model poses that Araki shamelessly plagiarized. I wonder. I'm surprised he. I'd love to find out if he's ever gotten sued for that. By the way, I know he's gotten. I know he's like gotten into legal hot water over
The names.
the names of songs of stands and stuff. And okay, Google, stop. Okay, Google, set timer for 5 minutes. Actually,
5 minutes. Starting now.
okay, Google, add 2 minutes to timer.
Done. 2 minutes added to your 5-minute timer. You've got 6 minutes and 58 seconds to go.
Oh no.
She's so cold.
To people that are in the classroom. I have full permission from my friends, by the way, to like share
Yeah.
this string of messages.
What? What happened?
No, I sent the screenshot.
Oh, you
of
put it in
how-
Discord?
Yeah, I put it in the classroom chat.
Okay, I'll check it out in a bit.
And in case you're wondering, space. Yes, one of my friend's icons is Dan's face pasted onto a banana.
Danny Elfman?
Yeah.
Oh god. Actually, I hope the image in my head of that is about as good as whatever they have. Is it him doing like the Danny Elfman grimace?
No, it's just like
The Goonie grin.
No, it's just a regular photo of him. I do have one. I only have one photo of him up because I hate how his face looked like.
But you hate Danny Elfman's stupid face.
It scares me.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to. He's a very theater kind of emotive, devilish looking face. Don't worry, he's just a clown. He can't hurt you. That's actually what Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo basically was. It was basically a troupe of clowns, like art clowns.
Weren't they called like the Clowns of Death at one point?
Maybe, but that's the title of one of their songs. But yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Let's see here. Maybe I could put some of this imagery on screen.
What imagery? I'm scared.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Very nice. So you're the one who's been shitting the bed.
So you're the one who's been shitting the bed.
Yeah, and then there's the whole band right there with Danny.
Yeah.
Yep, folks, there's the man who scored Sleepy Hollow. And actually, he was the singing voice of Jack Skellington, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And Bone Jingles.
Yeah.
And Dan also did the score for 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's a thing he did.
That sure is. I remember. I think I remember an interview with him saying that he wasn't really fond of the movie or something. I mean, he did what he could.
A job's a job.
See, that was the only thing in chat. Was that the only thing in chat? I thought you were supposed to the banana face Danny Elfman in classroom
Oh,
chat.
I can ask my friend Flip to send you that if you want, but
Let me see if I can get some gifts with him.
oh no. Just why does his face look like that?
Like what? He's a perfectly normal. There. See, he's a normal.
I am happy the stream is not loading for me, so that way I don't have to look.
The skeletons are in the closet. This is my private place. Can you get me out of here? Just put this on. This will just be like the whole stream right now. Like people come in and they're gonna be really confused.
Oh no!
Like Danny Elfman.
I'm glad my stream is not
Danny Elfman
loading.
just glaring at them.
What did you put the thumbnail for the Private Life music video or something?
Well, you can look.
No, it's the stream's not loading for me.
Oh.
Oh, you put the skeleton.
My skeletons are in the closet. What you see is what you get. Don't relax. You're not home yet. Put your life into my hands. Give me a sec, I need to get some water.
It's the 80s,
It's the 80s, little fool. What you see is what you get. What you get, what you get.
I'm sorry that this stream
What the
has
hell did
turned
you
into.
expect? Pretty red roses. Wet puppy noses. Bit before the hoses is more like it. Oh.
I'm sorry that this stream has turned into Space and Miles talk about Danny Elfman.
Bump. Bump. Bump, 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 bump.
They're just fucking spamming the face.
Here we go.
There you
Okay,
go.
we will stop.
Thank you, Thank you, Zombie.
Oh, thank you, chat.
Gosh, if like
What the?
Costa.
What am I looking at? Oh my god, what is this? There's video of him shaving.
What?
It's like a gif of
God.
there's a gif of him shaving here for some reason.
I don't. Imagine if Costa just like all of us chat right now. It would just be like, what the fuck is going on?
I hope you're enjoying this annual meeting of the Oingo Boingo fan club.
Oh, I think that that shaving gif was from the Nothing Bad Ever Happens music video.
Yeah. What, did he cut himself shaving in that scene or something?
Yeah.
There's a normal guy. He's a normal. Looking good, Danny.
Look like that. Why does he look like that?
Because he's a stage actor, a theater performer background, so he knows how to really push his facial expression.
My friend Flip sent the full quality image of the Banana Dan.
We'll get started in another set shortly. We're just doing a little Danny Elfman
Here we
nerd out
go.
thing. Hang on, here's vintage Danny Elfman from Mystic Knights days right here. This is the ending, that time of night when we delight in turning in. Actually, I'm gonna probably run that at the very end of the stream, I think.
Nice.
Alright. No, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit what we do. Oh, actually, one more for the road, and then we'll get started and do set. I just love this pick. I just love this one. There. Thanks, Satan.
Thanks, Satan.
This stream is brought to you by the devil.
You know, Cletus Cassidy, Carnage in the Venom comics, looks a lot like Dan.
Does he?
Yes.
Alright, let's maybe bump the time up to... Oh, let's bump it up to 4 minutes. How's that? What time is it? It is... Okay, Google, what time is it? Okay, Google, what time is it?
8 p.m.
Thank you. There we go. Got a new folder. Let me just check this folder real quick to make sure it's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. There we go. Okay, Google, set timer for 25 minutes.
Sure, 25 minutes. Starting now.
Some people call us crazy, but as you can plainly see, we're not the least bit crazy. We're as normal as can be. Come with us to the Oingo Boingo Boingo. You'll be surprised by the things that you will see. See, it's right in the song. He's a normal. Danny Elfman is like Oingo Boingo era. Danny Elfman was always constantly having a normal one. I do like that he's like the precursor to the troll face, basically.
Yeah, his face does look like
Yeah,
that.
it is the troll face. He's pretty much like the troll face in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think he was like trying to go for like kind of more of a stage villain sort of thing, where you really have to push your facial expression. We're usually involving grease paint, so it reads all the way to the back of the audience. I mean, in his heyday, Danny Elfman was as rubber-faced as Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. Kind of a shame that he didn't get. Danny Elfman probably would have been great in like acting roles and stuff.
Oh,
well, he has been in acting roles, but in like more extensive stuff.
Well, he mentioned this in an interview recently. He has difficulty memorizing scripts.
Oh, that's okay. Just work with one of those directors that's good on improv, and especially like his theater background. Like Danny Elfman does know how to do improv. He memorizes scripts. He doesn't memorize scripts very well, but he memorizes music sheets very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gosh. Dude gets out of high school. Dude gets out of high school early in his... what? I'm gonna teach myself the violin, and I'm gonna yeet myself to Africa at age 18. I am 18.
And then France,
I cannot
too, by the
take
way.
care of myself. I could not imagine teaching myself violin and yeeting to Africa.
He also went to like a French performing arts school for a while too.
He
I
was
think.
part of the Grand Magic Circus for a bit, which
Yeah.
his brother and his brother's fiance part of. And
Yeah.
the Grand Magic Circus is what inspired Mystic Knights of the Olympus Go.
Yeah, there was something involving like college stuff in France in there, if I recall. I don't know. It might have been Richard instead of him.
I think it was Richard instead of him. 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't mention him.
So it's interesting. There's a lot of like interlinked filmmakers around the 80s and 90s that have like some kind of filmmakers, musicians, and performers that you can kind of like track threads of parallel influence, and also they're interlinking with each other and crisscrossing over each other's careers. Danny Elfman and Tim Burton being big ones, obviously, but there's also Danny Elfman and Sam Raimi. There's Alex Winter, also known as the not Keanu Reeves of Bill and Ted. I forget which is which. Alex Winter. Red Letter Media actually did a thing on him recently. Alex Winter had like a directing style for stuff he did for MTV and the MTV sketch comedy stuff, and for a really weird ass comedy film that they made called Freaked. That's just like completely over the top. It's bonkers. It's like in the vein of like early Peter Jackson or like Evil Dead 2 Sam Raimi kind of stuff. Just like live action cartoon over the topness. But like the movie Freaked is like a 1990s underground comic brought to life, basically, complete with like grungy special effects and so on, and it's just completely bizarre and bonkers, and it's like really evident that everyone who worked on it had a blast working on it. And it's packed with Alex Winter's like directorial style that's also like very kind of parallel to like some of, you know how Sam Raimi remembers to tell a joke in his films. Like he knows how to set up and punchline for like the funny shit that happens in his movies, because Sam Raimi is a student of the Three Stooges University, the Three Stooges Film School, basically. Like Sam Raimi worships at the altar of Larry, Moe, Curly, and Chimp, and that's why his films have like so much good rhythm to them, especially in their comedy. Even in Sam Raimi's horror has like the same rhythms of like Three Stooges comedy to it. But that same kind of shit is in Alex Winter's work as well on Freaked, and I would recommend checking out the Red Letter Media review that they made recently on the movie Freaked, because it was a film that I hadn't really heard about until then, and it turned me on to the early work, early sketch comedy work by Alex Winter on MTV as well. And it makes me kind of, I hope that Alex Winter gets to like direct a film that's kind of a throwback to his batshit style from back in those days. He's been actually really successful recently, directing really good documentaries on Netflix too, by the way. Alex Winter.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he's been doing stuff. He did a really good documentary on the Panama Papers in particular, which is those who don't know, the Panama Papers is basically a bunch of stuff leaked a while ago, and sadly it's been kind of like not really talked about to the extent that it should be. But basically, like the Panama Papers basically reveal to the rest of the world that pretty much like all the rich elites are conspiring to fuck everyone on the planet over. Like, just like steal wholesale from entire countries. Like massive embezzlement and shit. The only thing that really came from it, aside from like there was some political upheaval in several countries and stuff, but the biggest thing to come from it is the journalist who leaked it got murdered, and then the Maltese government, who had jurisdiction over the case, keeps refusing to prosecute the person who murdered her. Yeah, you should definitely watch Alex Winter's documentary on the Panama Papers. It's really kind of eye-opening. It's not conspiracy theory bullshit or anything like that. Like, this is something that actually happened and should have had more attention on it. Yeah, Alex Winters is pretty fucking rad. I'll maybe show like some images from the movie Freaked to get people interested in that. In fact, you know what, Miles? I think we should be pulling some stuff from that movie for our for our inspirational boards, because like, yeah, like I want to, like, remember what I was talking about, like when we were like going over stuff in the meeting the other day. Like, I want us to not forget to tell a joke.
Yeah,
like, we want like evocative imagery and stuff, like in this game that we're doing, like this really like scary shit that kind of ties in anxieties about what's going on in modern times. But we want to remember to tell a joke and to make it funny and entertaining and have like comedic timing to it. And so, like, looking to people like Alex Winter or like Sam Raimi and so on would be great for that. Like, that's the other thing about the movie Freak. Like, Alex Winter understands how to set up an actual joke and have it pay off with a punchline. Like, it isn't like fucking Scary Movie where it's just like a bunch of stupid ass references and dumb situations. Like, they actually set up a joke with a punchline and payoff and stuff. With a setup, punchline, and payoff. Like, actual structured jokes. And gags and callbacks and shit. Like, real meaty student of comedy type stuff.
Mm-hmm. I personally enjoy more campy stuff.
Oh yeah,
so,
you'll dig
like,
this.
My favorite movie is actually Men in Black.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Oh, I
For what it is. I like the pug.
Yeah, Frank is great.
Too bad about like the
gosh,
soul.
Mochi, you got that GIF like really fast. Wow.
GIF?
Yeah.
Like in
Mochi
Discord
said
chat?
The worms.
I saw, yeah, there's the Danny Elf thing. Yeah, the worms from Men in Black is posted in Discord chat right now. Let's see. Moon Mochi, why are you posting screenshots of the drawings?
It's to show the photo.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. The reference photo. Yeah.
Here's the Danny banana. Let's just leave that down in the corner.
Just leave him in the corner. He's just
no explanation.
He's just there.
It's just there.
He's a class pet.
Yeah. I love shitting the bed.
What if, like, we made our profile pictures that fucking photo, like, Banana Dan, and just confuse everyone in the server?
Yeah. So everyone has bananas in their usernames too. We should make Banana Week next week, maybe. I've actually been skipping doing the themed week, the food themed week thing that we do in the Discord chat recently. This lady is not thick. She is in good shape, but the way her pants are billowing up, it makes her look thick, doesn't it?
Thick with threes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Every time Mo posts something in the chat, I just start giggling. FYI, folks, those ballet dancers that they call dainty,
A lot of times you meet them in real life, and they're like fucking kickboxer.
Oh yeah, they're buff
kickboxer.
as
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. They're fucking kickboxers, and they're like 6'5" and shit. I'm 6'5" and I do what I like.
Alright, I'm doing it. I'm making my icon Banana Dan.
Banana Dan?
Banana Dan.
Why don't you draw Banana Dan? And then make that your
No.
icon. Okay.
No, because I don't like looking at his face. I avoid looking at his face at all costs.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I've drawn like the character from the albums, but I haven't drawn Dan himself.
Just get like one of his faces that's not grimacing. Actually, no wait. Well, that one he's not grimacing though. He's glaring, but he's looking pretty
He's
normal.
glaring.
He's judging you.
He's judging your every move.
Badana.
Banana.
A mana badana.
Gosh, I hate it. I'm looking at the icon through my phone.
Adana, banana, bonanza. Costanza. Intranza. Pavanza.
Are you just trying to... Are you okay?
I don't know. What are you talking about? You sound insane.
I think you're possibly sleep deprived.
No,
No?
I'm just vibing. That's
You're
all.
just vibing?
Yeah. Like I'm kind of like in an art zone right now, so I'm just kind of like, whatever.
Nice. I don't know how to change my nickname through my phone, so I don't
Oh.
know how.
Well, I'll change it to whatever the hell I want later for you.
Thank you.
You're not gonna like it.
I'm not going
It's
to,
just-
I'm pretty sure.
So this could be like a picture. I'm gonna figure out a way to get an emoticon of Dan in there. It's gonna be like a little. Then it's gonna be a little devil head and a banana. That's what
Oh
it'll
my
be.
gosh.
Chat. So like PAX
Go-
East,
oh.
PAX East was going on this last week. Have you seen any particularly interesting upcoming games, like indie games with interesting art styles or whatever?
Thank you, Creed. Thank you, Creed.
I am curious if people have seen any really cool shit. I saw some cool shit. I have to refresh my memory with that what that cool shit was, but there was some definitely cool shit that I saw being shown in PAX. There's a Cyberpunk 2077, speak of the devil, cosplay right there. Didn't even realize PAX was on, yeah. Because it was like the online-only PAX that they were doing. It's pretty neat, though. They did a bunch of stuff actually through Twitch and through YouTube and through Steam in particular. There was a lot of like devs that were playing their games live. Is the Sony conference part of it? I think so. And I think that NVIDIA tried to time a bunch of their stuff around PAX when they were doing their big announcements and stuff too. That reminds me, folks, the 30 series GPUs are out. I'm going to eventually be trying to save up for a 3080. If you support the stream, I can start budgeting for that, but I'm not going to be too worried about getting that just yet, because we aren't too far along in development yet, where I would need like a heavy-ass GPU or whatever. But, yeah, I actually have other priorities I'm going to aim for first with the donation money I get, but I still have like that John Asaro head I want to get. I had to kind of hold off on getting that, even though I do have the money for it. Like, I haven't spent any of the donation money I've gotten recently. I'm trying to get a budget together of like maybe like $1,000, so I can kind of like have some breathing room to make decisions about stuff I'm going to get for the stream. Like, there's a bunch of stuff I want to get, like a webcam set up so I can do traditional demos. I want to get like a there's certain bits of software I'm interested in picking up to do stuff with, but
I can't look at its face. I'm changing my icon back to Sonk.
There's some monitors. I want to get at least 2 more monitors for my desk setup here, which will really help out my workflow and my stream, the efficiency of me running my streams here. I currently have a triple monitor setup, and the third monitor is a fucking giant ass TV that's unwieldy, and I can't really have it on my desk. So I want to get like a third and a fourth monitor, one with like a chat feed, and one with like a multitasking sort of thing, and so on. Get a skeleton. I've already got a skeleton, you dope. It's right here. I'll just get your skeleton. How's that? How do you like them apples?
Just yank it out.
Yoink it out. You yeet it out of you through the chat. Speaking of which, like Wednesday, we're going to be doing the same thing we did last week. We're going to be doing more hands. We got a lot out of doing that last week, and that reminds me, I was going to be drawing more hands during this session. It's wild though. I think that like doing a lot of hands kind of may have opened my third eye for doing figure drawing more, because hands are fucking tough. So if you practice them, then the rest of the figure becomes a little bit easier.
Oh yeah, I agree. Hands are very difficult to learn initially.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna use my special secret sauce technique right now to practice some hands while the regular figure poses are on screen.
What's in the secret sauce?
The secret sauce technique is I'm using an app that you can't see on screen that displays some hand drawing reference that I'm going to not necessarily copy from, but I'm going to riff from the structure of in order to get some hand practice in, which is what I was doing last Wednesday. In addition to like what people saw on screen. Mortal Kombat. There he is, Banana Dan.
Banana.
He looks so nonplussed to be a banana. All right, let's see here.
There's a lot of like skeleton illustrations I want to do, but I'm too scared to tackle them because the last time I drew, I'm too scared to like tackle any skeleton drawings.
Really?
There's like a few illustrations that I want to do.
You were spooked. You were literally spooked by skeletons.
No.
Oh.
It's because the last time I drew skeleton, I had 3 meltdowns because I couldn't get the anatomy right. and I was just like beating myself
Oh.
up about it.
Like a real meltdown, not.
Real meltdown.
Yeah.
And I didn't draw for like a good month afterwards.
So it was a case of like sensory overload, or was it just like a burnout thing?
Just a burnout thing.
Okay.
'Cause,
Yeah, I mean skeletons are tough. Have you seen that one anatomical turnaround skeleton I did?
No, I didn't.
I should show that. So I drew every bone in the spine and stuff on that thing, and the rib cage.
shit.
I'll show that during the next break.
Spooky, scary skeleton. Shivers down your spine.
skeletons, shiver down your spine.
I'll send the skeleton that I had 3 meltdowns in the process of drawing because I'm actually really proud of
That painting? No, it turned out great. Your meltdown produced excellent work, which is why I'm going to slave drive you to produce even more. I want you to be drawing a skeleton a day now. Make skeleton.
Shit, fuck.
You're working in the skeleton sweatshop now, surrounded by skeletons. There's just xylophone music constantly
there's
playing.
The skeleton I had 3 meltdowns drawing.
Yeah, I'll bring it up in Discord. Let's see here. Where is the fucking Discord? There it is. Yeah, here's the skeleton that gave Miles a meltdown. I'll bring it up on screen. If I can. Jesus Christ, what the hell's... There it is. Yeah, it's already on. It's already on screen. There it is. It's remarkably good.
Thank you.
So, I mean, you did melt down, but the results kind of speak for itself.
Thank you. I wonder how long that actually took me. I need to like I think my iPad should be charged.
Let's leave that guy in the corner right now, I think.
Alright,
Okay,
I'm gonna
Google,
go-
what time is it?
I'm gonna go see
It's 8:25 p.m.
how
Yeah,
long that illustration took.
I think we got like one more set after this one. I'm gonna do hands to close out this evening. Okay, Google, stop. Okay, Google, set timer for 5 minutes. I'm just gonna keep drawing. I'm gonna keep doing hands. Okay, Google, set timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Starting now.
There will be one more 25-minute set. Also, folks, in the future, we'll probably do game streams after these sessions because we are designing a video game now, so it's going to be very important for the team to actually like do a little bit of kind of research and stuff. It's also for fun and channel clowning and whatnot.
Shit.
So we'll be playing more video games together after streams and stuff.
I looked at my tracked time for it, and I would have thought like I took like 20 hours on it, but apparently I took only 10 hours, less than my average.
Yeah, research, and also fun fact: I can actually write off any game I purchase on taxes. No, seriously, I've been able to do that for years. I've been doing that for years. You can also if you're a digital artist, you can write off any equipment you buy, like a Cintiq or even a computer or whatever, off on taxes. It's your right to do so, by the way, in the U.S. and in most other countries that have that kind of thing going on. There we go. I think I can already see a definite improvement from my hand drawing from last. Like what I just drew now is not a copy, by the way. It's just using the same structural stuff that's like in Bern Hogarth and a few other things. I've got like a little bit of Bern Hogarth drawing dynamic hands on screen that people can't see, using a little Pure Ref app that's set to be always on top next to my next to the space that I'm drawing in here. That's a trick I'm going to be using when I'm animating too, by the way, on the project that we're going to be working on. Like having your reference right there to glance at. Super handy. I could see like taking frame by frame stills of like video reference and stuff, and putting them in PureRef and having it always on top or something. Or maybe like a video app that I can do something like that with too. Hang on, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. I actually should take a break. I'm gonna hit the restroom real quick. But we will be doing one more set of 25 minutes. I'm gonna be right back.
So, lovely weather we're having. How's everyone's nights going?
It's chilly where I'm at.
And we're back. All right. Oh, Ruiner cosplayers on screen. Whew. Alright, I went into another room to go R&R and stuff, but there's a big old wall of text that I typed in the Twitch chat about what my plans are. I was mentioning earlier, like, I'm interested in doing, I want to do, like, game stream stuff, because that's fun, and that's also for research for the game dev project we're working on. We'll give more variety to the stream channel, and an opportunity to kind of loosen up, and so on, too. Something fun to do, like as a reward, to get those dopamine centers going, like, for clocking in a good art workout, you know? But, the other thing is that I've been wanting for a while to do some kind of a subscribing, a sub and donation drive art stream marathon of some kind. I don't know what form that's going to take, but just yet. But I'm leaning towards some kind of like a figure drawing practice, multi-day marathon or something. I don't know. I think as far as marathons go, like, I think I should maybe start small with those.
What's this?
Oh, here, I'm back. Sorry about that. I forgot that I disconnected from the voice in here. You know.
I just was talking about how my drawing process comes from, and why my drawings aren't really formed out at the beginning stages, because I see it more as like sculpting.
Yeah, sadly you weren't on the stream when you were talking about it.
I know. And I mentioned that when I mentioned that when I started talking about it, that I was sending the image into a chat instead.
Yeah, it was my bad. A little technical hitch from a result of me opening my laptop in another room and kind of disconnecting or some shit. It was weird. But, yeah.
Also, I'm going to send a bunch of cursed images that Space Dad sent me while I working on that Sonic photo.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's save the cursed images for later. Definitely. I'll show them later. I'm gonna close out the marathon by drawing a bunch of hands.
Alrighty.
So, well, not marathon. The class session. But okay, Google. How much time left on timer?
It looks like you don't have any timers set at the moment.
Okay, Google, set timer for 23 minutes.
23 minutes. Starting now.
Now this is our last set, folks.
And don't ask, but somehow those cursed images progressed into... which is literally just one of the corrupted Sonic drawings on Kronk's body from Emperor's New Groove. Yeah. I don't remember how this happened, but it did. And then I'll send the version of Sonic that's my profile image right now. There he is.
So, yeah. So, folks, we're coming close to the end of the stream. We'll probably do a little bit more clowning. I want to show off some of the weird shit that's being posted in Discord when we get done here. But, before we wrap up. But, today's been a long, very, very interesting day. We had Sol Cora, the freaking awesome animator storyboard artist, who is now an instructor in our Discord, do a big thing on gesture drawing today. And that stream has been recorded, so you can rewatch it again. We had I forget what his name is, but he did a visual story. I couldn't attend that one because I was like way too tired. I had to take a nap. But we had a lecture. One of our other new teachers do a visual storytelling class. right after hers, and then right after he got done, then moved to my class where we tried to apply some of the stuff that Cora showed off a little bit.
So we went on a few tangents, but
Yeah, we did.
but I think that's like a good little rest from
Yeah.
the more serious classes I was
That's
going
fine.
to today.
Yeah. I'm actually like, because this is my first day back for like figure drawing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We did head drawing and hand drawing this week, but I took a break from figure drawing last week, and so this is my first day back to actually like drawing figures from photos and stuff. I'm thinking like I said earlier, I'm really interested in doing some kind of a multi-day figure drawing pseudo marathon thing through Twitch. If I can get enough people at different hours to show up for that in support and maybe like do subathons, like I've been wanting to like do stuff like that in the morning for like the Euro time zone people who normally really can't show up during these sessions for a while. So that might be a way to kick the door out the hinges, because like the way my sleep cycle is right now is I get up like at like 6 in the morning or something, 6 or sometimes even 4 in the morning. Then I have like plenty of energy up until around like 2 to 4 or something like that, and then I usually take like a nap for an hour, and then I get energized again, and then I like run my class or I do some other thing. And then I go to bed like at 10 or something, 10 or 11.
I've sadly been like very busy, so I haven't even been able to work on a lot of my illustration with a lot of the house moving stuff that's been going on with me.
Soul Cora's video has audio they recorded it elsewhere. The stream didn't have audio, but they actually did record it. Like there was somebody physically recording like the stream as it was happening when she was talking. We had to like do some logistics work around shit for that. But in any case, it was like the first stream. She didn't go as in depth in that stuff as she did, and she was kind of like testing the waters of teaching. So she's actually going to be covering like the same stuff, but better next time she teaches one of those classes, which I think will be next week, probably at the same time. Be very interesting. If there's no class happening immediately after her class that day, I probably might try to push for just immediately having a figure drawing class that goes on for like that marathon period I'm talking about. For that though, I really want to like kind of think about how I'm going to do that, because I want to make sure that I can pace it out with proper with the proper energy level I need to do it, and to make sure that everyone is able to show up and stay engaged for the whole period. So I'll see about that. So we got 2 subs. I don't know, folks. Can we get another sub? Maybe another more sub? Like, just come on, get a little sub. What's up? Get a Twitch Prime sub. If you got a Twitch Prime sub, come on. And it's fine.
But yeah, I would love to be able to teach a little bit of a shading course, maybe, or like just give some insight on my illustrative process. Because I don't know if you were here when I mentioned this, but I am well aware that my process is fairly different from a lot of other artists, because I approach it more just sculpting.
Yeah, well, that's not actually that different. I mean, like a lot of painters basically pretty much like treat the digital paint, or just paint in general, like sculpting on the canvas. I mean, I kind of treat the way I draw like sculpting. I'm drawing linearly, but I think of these things as being like 3D masses and stuff that I'm kind of sculpting out.
Yeah. I think that's another difficult thing to like train your brain to do is to see your drawings as 3D rather than images.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's where repetition and doing kind of like what that's why I'm drawing the way I'm doing drawing, where I integrate the gesture into the 3D shapes, which is that Steve Houston thing that I was talking about. Like I'm all about that right now. I'm all about like the making 3D shapes that have the gesture directly integrated into them. So that like I'm dealing with pliable masses that are driven by gesture instead of just like robotic 3D forms, and I'm not getting quite as like loosey-goosey with my gesture. So that it's not describing form. And it's a way for me to kind of wrap my head around these 3D shapes and how things actually work a little bit better. So we will be doing hands again next Wednesday. That'll be fun.
Oh, thank you, Potato. I'm not looking at the Twitch right now because for some reason it's not loading for me on my phone.
Yeah. Hope you eventually get your internets sorted out. Is it just like your particular house internet kind of sucks?
Yeah.
Or is it the router?
I'm not entirely sure. I just know my Wi-Fi sucks.
Well, I mean, you can find out by well, I'll help you out with that later. But I mean, you can try to see like if there's a difference when you plug in something to Ethernet, for example, versus your router. Yeah, folks, tragedy of tragedies. I spent like 8 or 9 hours drawing hands on, which that reminds me, I gotta do what I'm meant to do that I learned my lesson on that time, which is make continual backups of these drawing files that I'm making as I'm working on them. So here's what happened. There's some work being done in the house right now, so they have like a dehumidifier. A couple of dehumidifiers hooked up into some of the rooms, and so they kind of overloaded the power circuit when I was teaching class the other day for the hand drawing class, and it resulted in power outages in the house, and that resulted in that 8 or 9 hour drawing that I've been working on in Clip Studio with like tons and tons of hand practice getting corrupted. So I lost like 8 or 9 hours of hand drawing practice. Bruh. But better it happened on that because I was coming back into hand drawing after a period of not hand drawing. So like that's just like a starting point of me clocking in way more hand mileage. So better it happened on something like that than on something really important, like an important piece of concept art or a commission or something. So since then,
yeah.
I'm using a backup system, and I'm going to be actually setting up Backblaze later this weekend to do automatic online cloud backups of my shit. I also set up Clip Studio. Clip Studio has a cloud backup service built into it. And in addition to that, I have set up Adobe Creative Cloud and Photoshop for when I'm doing that, so that also backs up my files. And I'm also using the step system of making multiple versions of the same file, which I forgot to this time. Whoopsie, but I just did now. Let's say that again. I'm going to regularly save my work and regularly save multiple versions of it. I used to do that all the time for my animation work, but I've kind of gotten sloppy about it doing these art demos. And sketches. No more. I've got to constantly be using the habit of making multiple copies of the same work and backing them up, and setting up things to auto backup. I actually have to finish setting up the Windows backup drive that I got started on yesterday too. But things are already protected by about 2 layers of protection right now for me, so I'm better than I was. But I'm going to make sure all my bases are covered. So folks, if you don't want to lose your work, make multiple versions of the as you're working on a file throughout the day, any art file or animation file. Save multiple versions of it. Like as you continually work through it, like keep saving new versions of it under like a slightly different name, like add a different suffix to it. Like I use A, B, C, D or whatever, but you can come up with any system you'd like for it. Because like if one of them gets corrupted, you can go back to one of the previous ones. And so you, instead of losing about 8 hours worth of work, you lose like maybe like an hour worth of work, tops.
Oh, I'm looking through my files right now, and I just stumbled upon the original doodle for the buff-legged Kermit. And this is another example.
You know there's cloud backup stuff you can do with iPad too, by the way.
Oh yeah, for Procreate it saves automatically.
Yeah,
so
well
I
there's
never
that.
have to worry.
Well, there's that, but you can also set up like you can actually set it up so like there's a cloud backup thing and a NAS drive for your house that you can set up to back up whatever you're working on in like Procreate and other things. What the hell was that?
What?
I heard some talking.
Crispy Crimson?
Just like my sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's alright.
I
But,
was just-
I'm going to send into the chat the original spawned into my buff-legged illustration.
Okay. Well, we'll show that after this. We'll show all the weirdo shit.
No,
we
I was
post.
just looking through my.
Yeah, we'll show all the weirdo shit people are posting in Discord after we get done here.
He's such a polite fella.
And then that doodle of Kermit evolved into this.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I think I better put that in the corner, actually.
Buff-legged Kermit single. Oh.
That is a painting, folks. That's not a photo or a Photoshop.
Guys, I
Wow,
dreaded
wow,
every
wow,
second
wow,
of
wow.
drafting.
Well, that's actually. Wow, wow. You check this out, like. I don't know. Oh, yeah.
I am both
Ball.
proud and disappointed in myself at drawing that. That's how I feel with every one of my cursed illustrations, because they end up good is the thing,
Yeah.
but at the same time, why?
You can make that into your gimmick. You draw, like, remarkably well-drawn first images.
That pretty much is my gimmick at this point. I got commissioned to draw a buff Care Bear, and she's going to get it tattooed on her thigh month.
Your gimmick, what am I talking about? If you can draw really well, your gimmick is that you can draw really well. You don't need a fucking gimmick.
Thank you. Thank you, Mochi.
Gimmicks are for dorks. Dorks and nerds. We eat nerds for breakfast in this chat.
I used to eat people like you for breakfast.
I used to eat cereal like you for breakfast. Imagine like saying that to Tony the Tiger or something.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god, remember poor fucking Kellogg's trying to run a Tony the Tiger Twitter account, and then the furries thirsted after him so much they had to shut it down. To be fair, that was kind of the fault of Madison Avenue originally sort of trying to tap into, like, I don't know, some Freudian shit, I'm sure. Why is he hot? Trust us, it'll sell the cereal really well, sir. Why is he hot?
That's how I am with like people who message me and are like, yeah, that character of yours is attractive, and I mean like, and my response is just like, you mean the slime monster? You're attracted to the slime monster?
Uh-oh.
I've gotten, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last stream or not, but I've gotten, one of my most interesting DMs I ever was someone DMing me about one of my character designs.
The internet has resulted in a pandemic of paraphilias, I think.
Someone had messaged me about my character Yive in particular, and they were just like, you know, a character would look hot in a bikini.
Oh.
And I'm just like,
bruh.
How do I respond to that?
You should take it as a compliment.
I know, but at the same time, I'm just like, how do you respond to someone messaging you saying your character would look hot in a bikini?
Well, I mean, it's actually not really that new. There's been people thirsting after, like, Hollywood horror monsters for, like, forever, really.
You know what your correct response should be. Yeah, how much are you willing to pay for that? Hey, they got money and they're willing to pay, take it off their hands.
You know what? You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna ask that next time.
Speaking of which, about that Hollywood horror monster thing, fun fact, the guy who played the creature of the Black Lagoon, he used to have sex with his girlfriend in, wearing the creature of the Black Lagoon suit after the movie. Yeah.
In the suit?
Yeah. Yes. So that's a true story.
I sent into the chat the character in question that a lot of people are just horny for.
Yeah.
Every single time I introduce someone to this character of mine, they are attracted to him.
I mean, if you look at it, like a lot of the classic movie monsters are actually really fucking hot. Like, I mean, they're made to be kind of hot in Alluring. Like Dracula, young Bela Lugosi is a sex pot. I guess Frankenstein could be a hunk. I suppose he's not really portrayed as one, but he's really definitely like imposing.
Oh yeah, Frankenstein is
a big
definitely
beefy boy. Yeah.
Big beefy boy.
The Frankenstein monster. He's not Frankenstein. Invisible Man is nude. I mean, Creature of the Black Lagoon. I mean, come on. Shape of Water made him sexy, and that's kind of obvious. The Wolfman. Wolfman's a big hunky daddy.
Furry.
Yeah. And what else? Yeah, the Mummy. Even the Mummy was sexy. Like his entire arc in the movie, in the original Universal Mummy movie, was he was trying to resurrect his long lost love and reincarnate her through someone else. So even he was sexy. Scary, but sexy.
Okay, you laugh, but that is an outfit I would legitimately wear.
I was working in the lab this one night.
Just chilling inside.
So, like, people thirsting after monsters is not particularly unheard of, I would say. And there's also the idea that, like, people are complex, fucking scary. People in real life are, like, fucking complex and scary to deal with.
Oh, I agree.
And overwhelmed, especially as an autistic person, you can definitely agree with that.
Yep.
Because how overwhelming and fucking weird everyone is. But like, but like, then there's like the idea that people find the monsters more relatable because the monsters are kind of, they kind of become sort of the Uncanny Valley sort of shit, where like they're more relatable because they're more kind of working on sort of a more primal level, a little bit detached from the complexities of humanity. And
well, it's about like the whole outcast. Or
yeah, there's also that
othering.
too. There's a lot of different things that there's a lot of different things that cause people to, watching horror movies, to relate to the monsters or find the monsters attractive or whatever, like, or root for the monster.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of my project that I've been working on. So the majority of the characters are aliens, and the title of the story is called Don't Fear the Other, and it's supposed to be like showing like, hey, even though these characters to us viewing are sort of weird looking or have like a weird traits and stuff, they're still pretty human. They're still pretty similar to us. They have lives and shit.
I've seen very few. Okay, Google, stop. I've seen very few examples of sci-fi that have pulled off like this being is something that evolved with a completely different physiology and psychology to human beings. I think the movie Arrival is an example of something that did that pulled off that idea successfully. Annihilation kind of did too, and the movie Solaris, Tarkovsky movie, the Russian one, not the remake they made in the '90s. That wasn't very good. Why can't I paint?
Okay. The characters themselves are supposed to be sort of allegories for queer or disabled people.
Why is it not letting me paint? What the fuck's going on here? Well, anyway, it's about quitting time, so we'll take a look at some of the weird shit that you guys have been posting in chat shortly. I'm just trying to figure out why the hell it's not letting me draw on the monitor right now. Okay, yeah, it's still not. I must have hit some kind of. Oh, that's why. It's on blank for the color. Oopsie.
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah. That's like the equivalent of in Procreate when you tap the slider for the opacity down to 0 by accident. And you're wondering, why the hell can I make a mark? That happened to me a couple times before I figured that out. I still haven't gotten used to Procreate, but I do use it for sketching sometimes. Alright, so let's take a look at the weird shit you guys have been posting in chat. Oh, what the fucking...
Oh, spooks. You said plant monsters are pretty cute. Actually, a character that's supposed to be like a plant alien.
Okay, Google, turn on TV.
Sure, turning on Office Roku.
Thank you. How about that? You worked for a change. Alright.
So the first one I'm gonna send is just a drawing that I'm working on for her, so I haven't like gotten to the rendering and stuff.
Oh yeah, your fungus creature. You've got that on screen now. That's a really awesome painting too.
Thank you. I'm very proud of that.
That reminds me, I gotta assemble a bunch of like the Tool music video concept art by like Cam De Leon and what's his face for our group. This is very, very Cam De Leon, by the way. You're channeling him without really necessarily realizing it, I think. Oh, now he's hot. Yeah. I'm an intensive Care Bear. Yeah, that. The classic. Peter. Thick thighs save lives.
Hey, you know what they say, Miss Piggy. Good thighs save lives.
I've seen so many memes with the scooty ass anime hair girl legs lately. Or the last. Yeah. Your current avatar there, the content at where Sonic had. Yeah, my content aware scaling Sonic faces.
They're really good. They're
Wide
really
Sonic.
good.
Of your this is Miles's painting of Sonic after I distorted it in chat when we were doing the Lightbox Expo stream.
Yeah, during Ethan's.
I look beautiful. I like how it smushed the I like how it smushed the word here to will commit a felony.
Mm-hmm.
I will commit a felony. Huh. It's a little color correction there, isn't it?
Yeah, I did do a little. What are you referring to?
Oh, this, the color looks a little different on that one. I like this one because it's a little bit richer with the reds.
I can't see because of the
Oh, the stream.
Twitch stream.
I'm just scrolling up and seeing your process. Yeah, you posted a bunch of your process images for the Sonic you did. What? Kitties. I'm considering maybe I should find some way to include the Discord chat in the stream somehow. I don't know how I'd do that because there's not a tremendous amount of monitor real estate space to do that with. It's cool. Some figure posing people did this evening. Let's see if we can find any bangers. Get the skeleton discourse from earlier. What's this? Oh yeah, that's the, I forget, I think I actually have this game from like a Twitch Prime thing. If that's the game I'm thinking of. Yeah, by coincidence, Space Dandy resembles my avatar, or my persona. Like, not on purpose, but just sort of spilled out that way. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a film I want to take another look at. Again, the Red Line film. Lovely film and a lovely short. Danny's eyebrows. Yeah, Carnage does look a lot. Cletus Cassidy does look an awful lot like. Yeah, it looks an awful like Danny Elfman, curly hair and everything.
Yeah, the expression.
The Danny's in chat, Jesus.
All the dance.
Yeah, this is why I want to kind of include chat more. Yeah, the Discord chat somehow more in the stream. Maybe I can set that up. That would probably work better for the game streams, or for like the chill and draw streams or something. That is very JoJo. This one looks like it would be great for painting practice too. Up here. Oh yeah, this. Yeah, this is a really cool video. I would recommend watching it. Yeah. Hopefully we don't get copyright bonked for playing this, but this is a manga that was adapted into an anime, and the manga was, in its art style, was heavily influenced by Moebius, the French comic book artist. So it's like Moebius meets anime, kind of. The guy who created the manga also directed the anime, and he made like these He made like a special effects model prop even for like some of the scenes in the film, like some really experimental things. Yeah, here, see, there's a big thing on it. That's wild. These are like designs that are like it's not really rip off so much as like it's almost like an homage, because like it was like the 1970s when this stuff was when like the stuff he's homaging was made. Yeah, there's never been any other anime quite like this. Like, I love this really unique kind of like dotted textured look, like Mobius illustrations in the backdrop and stuff, and the really colorful poppy weight things are done. The elimination of shadows in most cases. Like, here's an example of Mobius's art right here that's on screen. And you can compare it to the anime here. Oh, not there. Yeah, check out the video. This goes over a very unique OAV film. That film, is it a film or is it a series? That it's from a lovely time in 80s anime history when there was a lot of small productions like this that were trying really interesting experimental things. Yeah, that whole channel right there, Kenny Lauderdale is really fucking awesome. It's got some funny ass shit too, with like Chargeman Ken, one of the worst animes ever made. Japan's first superhero, The History of Golden Bat. Arguably, Golden Bat is probably the first superhero ever invented too, because he predates like even the first Western superhero, the Phantom. So watch that. This is a really must-watch video, I would say. He's got some other weird shit in here. I don't think I've seen this. When magical girls turn mecha, huh? Alright, here's another worst anime made. And the Curse of Minky Momo. This is a must-watch video because this is there's callbacks to what happened in a lot of modern anime. Minky Momo was Minky Momo was a magical girl children's series that was canceled, even though it was like quite popular, and it was canceled because of the toy company wasn't selling enough toys, even though the anime itself was really popular and beloved by a lot of people. And so, in order to end the series, the animators and directors director got together and they made an episode where out of nowhere Minky Momo gets run over by a truck. Basically, and killed. Like, she's dead. Pretty much. It was like a complete, like, 180 turn in tone. Just out of nowhere. For the show. And, there's a bunch of other shit associated with it. Associated with Minky Momo. They also go over in the video. Including, like, coincidental, horrifying events that happened around the time when Minky Momo shit was going down.
Yeah, like, it was like season finale or season premiere.
Yeah, there was like a giant earthquake and shit.
Earthquakes kept happening.
Yeah, earthquake, tsunami type shit. Yeah, this guy, Kenny Lauderdale, there's a few other YouTubers I'll recommend to check out in the future that I really dig, going over like anime history and when Delinquent Girls Ruled. Yeah, he's got a lot of good shit. I can't wait until he puts out more videos soon. But yeah. Cool. We're gonna just about... Yeah! Chargeman Ken. I tried watching some of that, and he kind of, if anything, he almost understates just how fucking awful that anime is. It's a mess in not very good ways, but you can kind of get like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 vibe from watching it and marveling at just how bad it is.
If you ever feel bad about your animation,
you're not going to be bored watching Chargeman Ken. I'll give it that. But yeah, exactly. There's a lot of really questionable imagery in the show and questionable events. Like Chargeman Ken like fucking kills people at some points, and there's not really any. It's like the most sloppy ass like writing justifications for why shit happens.
And they had an episode where they humanized like the aliens
Yeah.
he was going after, and then he killing.
Yeah, he just killed him and was okay with it. Like, he did, like, his sister, who was actually in love with the alien who he killed. He never informs his sister about it, and like one day, like a kid just disappears from the class, and Chargeman Ken just like laughs about it when his sister's like, "Oh my God, what happened to him? He's vanished. I'm so worried." and Chargeman Ken fucking laughs about it. And he's supposed to be the fucking hero. He's like a kid superhero or some shit. Yeah, I mean this pretty much sums up what your reaction will be watching Chargeman Ken. But watch the video that Kenny Lauderdale has on Chargeman Ken. It's really something. Yeah. It's like 10 yeeting people with a blaster, exactly. Let's maybe skim through this real quick with the audio off. Yeah, there he is. It's atrociously bad animation in this show too. And like he talks about like some of the awful animation mistakes and shit. Oh yeah, this. There is literally a hand of one of the one of the cell photographers on screen for one of the episodes. I'm not even shitting. There's a few other mistakes kind of like that in the show. Yeah. There's like all kinds of like weird ass like blatantly here's another one. There's like weird ass blatantly obvious like mistakes. Like sloppy, like rush production mistakes all throughout this stupid ass show. Yeah, definitely watch this. The best pet anime Chargeman Ken from 1974, and this one is also worth watching, which is a really terrible OAV anime that has like parts that like they did an in between, so it turns into a literal slideshow. Like, these aren't even the worst parts here. I'm skimming through here. Here it is. So you can find some of the here. Yeah, look at that. Amazing animation. I think what happened there is they ran out of money or something. There's other productions in anime where that's happened before. That actually happened recently in like the awful Junji Ito stories series that got released that butchered his work. The infamous clown scene. Junji Ito bad animation GIF. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, there's like really terrible quality animation in the Junji Ito story series. There's some circus clowns that do a run cycle that's not in between. That's actually some of the good animation that appears in it, but there's a lot of terrible animation. Junji Ito clowns animation. Let's take a look at this before we. Bad animation. Yeah. Well, I'll have to show it another time if I can find it, but there's a scene where there's like two guys in circus clown makeup that like literally they had like the run poses for both of them, and they just move across the screen with like no in betweening. It's like the worst fucking thing. There might be a clip of it in this somewhere. So I'm dying to at least show this before we close out for the evening, because it has to be seen to be believed just how bad it is. It's not in there. Ito. Bad. Spawning garbage. Fortunately, there's going to be an Adult Swim adaptation of the show. Of Uzumaki coming out soon. There's going to be an Adult Swim adaptation of Uzumaki coming out soon. That's from the director of Mushishi, and it's looking really fucking. It's looking like it's going to be really fucking good. Let's see here. So I think Super Eye Patch Wolf has it somewhere in here. Oh well. Well, anyway, we're going to close out the stream in a sec. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for the subs. I think we only got 2 this time, but 2 is good. So thank you all for coming. Thank you very much for the subs. Enjoy your weekend. We will be meeting tomorrow, same time at 5:30 p.m. For some animation studies. I actually might push the class a little bit sooner. So check the class schedule. I'll update usually like about an hour. Before I do the class, I'll probably notify like about 2 hours in advance when I'm going to do it. So I might bump the 5:30 p.m. animation study class tomorrow to like about like 3 or 2 p.m. or something. But if I do, I'll notify about it in the classroom announcements. So anyway, yeah, thanks you all for coming. I will look forward to seeing you guys again. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I'm gonna do this. Go. I wanted to play this before, as we close out. Just gotta close out my music real fast.
But it was fun being here with everyone, and hopefully I will see everyone tomorrow. And if you want to chat with me or see more of my art, I am WTA51 on Instagram. That is my only social media because I cannot handle having multiple social medias at once. But don't be afraid to message me. I'm pretty chill.
It's not goodbye, but just until we meet again. Until this evening, I sat there dreaming now. I see you so clearly, and all my dreams come true as I sing to you. La 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 la. I say it's been a pleasure.
Why, thank you. We hope that you've enjoyed our little treasure of melodies.
Well, when we play together, we often squeak and squeal, but we try to play in harmony. La, 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 la. To be a clown's not easy. Not so. Why, truly, it requires lots of pep and odd abilities. How often must I tell you? The Oingo Boingos are not clowns, they're spacemen! So that's your trick, I see! And with appreciation!
Thank you.
And hope that you will soon become a member of our fraternity!
What can you have for dinner?
Forever!
Let's throw away our troubles and despairs.
And laugh till we turn green! And so, my friends, before you leave, we'd like to say goodbye!